Hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is Pack 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to see some interview related questions because as of now we are already dealing with our all theoretical concept as well as the practical oriented question based on our file handling. Okay, so now we are trying to see some coding question that related to our file handling. Okay, so what is the question? The first question for this session is write a program to count number of lines that's present in a file. Okay, so the first question, write a program to count the number of lines in a file, because we have already see how to open a file, how to perform some operation, and how to close. Okay, so now we are trying to see that we are trying to find the how many numbers of line that present inside a file. So for this example, every time I just try to take this sample.txt file. Okay, so there are so many content or data are there. Based on that, we try to build our logic. Okay, so guys, before we try to performing any operation, our first requirement will be we want to open the file, then only we try to able to performing some operation. So how to open a file? So here we try to use our with keyword followed by the function open function, and this open function will take one mandatory argument that is called our file name. Okay, so make sure that whenever you are trying to pass your file name directly, make sure that you need to open your folder in your specific folder name. So here I'm trying to open my folder in my file folder. Okay, so if you are not opening the folder in your VS Code, then you need to give your specific file directory. Means you need to go to your memory and you need to come to your file memory. After that, here you need to specify your file directory. Okay, if you are not want to do like that, so make sure that you need to open your folder from your VS Code, then only we are able to write your file name directly followed by the extension. Okay, so here with access mode we are trying to use, because guys here my requirement will be I just want to count the number of line. Okay, we are not even try to write anything. So we can say that if I try to open a file by the help of our read access mode, then we can read the content, because here also we are trying to read the content, because after reading the content, then only we are able to count the number of line. Okay, so if you are not passing the access mode, or we can say that read access mode, by default it will be making as a read access mode. Okay, after opening this open function, it will be return a file object. Now we are trying to save in a variable. Okay, after that, whenever we are trying to open a file by the help of our read access mode, we have three methods to read the content. We have read line, and read line. So in this case, which access mode, or we can say that which mode or which method we are trying to use. So in this case, we are trying to use the read lines, because read line says that it will be reading all the line from a file. So here also we are trying to use the same thing. Okay, so I need to read the file. So to read the file, I need to store in a variable, because we are trying to find the lines. That's why here I'm trying to take a variable name called lines. Okay, now how to read a file? By the help of our file object dot read lines. Okay, after we are writing this, all the lines that we want to read, it will be stored in this lines file. Okay, now if I'm trying to print this one, so guys just see, if I'm trying to print the lines, so here we need to print that. Now if I'm trying to run this one, so here it will be give me the output, means whatever the content that's available here, it will be print in a list. Okay, now my requirement will be I want to find the count, means how many lines, means 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, 5 line, 6 line we have. Then we are trying to find the count, means whenever I'm just trying to run this code, it needs to give the output as 6. Okay, so in that case, how to find? So to find any count value, we have a len function. Okay, because now this line will be treated like a list. Okay, now if my requirement will be, I want to find how many elements that available inside a list. So at that time, we can use our len function to find the how many element that's available. So here we are just trying to print the same thing. We are trying to use our f string. Okay. So the total number of lines that will be. So here I'm just trying to use that is called our len of. Okay, so which one I need to pass as my mandatory argument, that is called lines, because all the content that are stored in this line variable. Okay, now if I'm trying to run this one, now it will be give me the output as the total number of line will be 6. Now if I'm trying to change the input, suppose if I'm trying to write Java, then here I'm just trying to write MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB. Okay, now again, if I'm trying to run this one, so guys, just see, it will be changing the user output because we are trying to change the user input. That's why, means we are trying to build the logic that if I try to change the input also, still it needs to give the same output for our different user input. Okay, so this is the simply example to find how many numbers of line that's available inside a file. Okay. Now, the next question for this session is write a program to count the number of words. Okay. Now we are trying to find the numbers of what? Now we are find the numbers of line. Then how to find the numbers of what we are trying to see now. So first we are trying to write the question. Okay. So the question will be write a program. Okay. Write a program to count the number of words in a file. Okay, so every time we are just try to take the same file, that is called our sample.txt. So before we are try to performing some operation, first we need to open the file. So here I'm just trying to open the file that is called sample.txt. Okay, as of now I don't want to pass any access modifier, or we can say that access mode. Okay, directly I'm just trying to store the file object. After that, here first I need to read the data. Okay, so in that case, which method we are trying to use? Read line or read lines. Okay, now guys, we are trying to find the words. So in that case, we are trying to read all the content. So that's why we are trying to use the read method. Okay, so here my requirement will be, I want to find the words. So I'm trying to take the variable name as words. Okay, after that, first I need to read the file content. Okay, so file object dot read. After that, first I need to print that. Okay, so guys, just see, first I need to print the output. Okay, guys, just see, if I try to run this one, it will be print all the content that's available, but we are trying to find the words that are available. So after that, we are trying to use one more inbuilt method that is called our split method. Okay, so what is the use of this split? It will be splitting the word. Okay, now here we are trying to use that variable name dot split method. So this is entire thing. Now it will be treated like a variable name, that then it will be printed as my split. So guys, just see, now whenever I'm trying to use my split, it will be give me all the word in our list. Okay, because if you see here also all the data that are present, because the output, or we can say that the return type of split method will be string that are available inside a list only. Okay, after this, now we are just try to find the count value. Okay, so how to find the count value? We have already seen, if I try to take a list, if I try to find the length of the element, means how many element that's available inside this list, we can use the inbuilt method len function. So here also we are trying to take the same thing. So here I'm just trying to take total number of word. Okay, the total number of word R. So here I'm just trying to write len of words. Okay, directly we need to provide the variable name. So now if I try to run this one, it will be count all the things and it will be give me the output. So guys, just see, it will be displaying me as the 23 as my output. Now if I try to check it also, now I try to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So guys, just see, now if I'm trying to increment one more thing, so here I'm just trying to write hello. Okay, now if I'm trying to run this one, now it will be give me 24 as my output. Means if I try to change the user input also, still it will give me the same output. Okay, now if you don't want to use this method, then we have another method that's available. Okay, now here we are trying to take a one more example to do that. Okay, the same question means we are trying to find the count the number of word that's available inside a file. Okay, so here we are trying to take the result as my extra variable because we are trying to count the value. Okay, so here I'm trying to take the variable name as count equal to 0 because I'm just trying to count from 0 only. Okay, so after that, after I'm getting the value, means whenever I'm just trying to get the data, first I need to read that. So here I'm just trying to read the data and I want to read the data on a for loop. Okay, so how to do that? Because we know that whenever we are trying to use a for loop, we can directly give on a variable or we can use a sequence also. So here we are just trying to use the same thing. So here I'm just trying to find the words. Okay, so here I'm just trying to take words in my file object. Okay, because still now we are not reading the data, so first we need to read the data. So file object dot, here I'm just trying to use my read lines because I want in the form of our sequence. That's why here I'm trying to use this read lines. After this, now if I'm trying to print each and every word, so guys, just see the output. Okay, it will be print each and every word that's available in this read line. So guys, just see, it will be print. Okay, now I just want to count that particular things. Okay, so after whenever I'm just trying to run a for loop on that, I need to count. Okay, I have already take one more extra variable that is called our result. So here I'm just trying to count that. So guys, just see, if I try to find the output here, all the line are present, but in a line all the data also are present. Now we are trying to separate the things. So to separate this thing, we are trying to use our split method. Okay, so now we are trying to use this split method to divide that particular thing. So here I'm just trying to use result equal to len of, okay, len of line. Okay, here I need to write our file object, or we can say that words. Okay, because we have already take that particular thing. So now I try to take this words dot split. Okay, because we are trying to split the words that's available. Okay, now if I'm trying to run this one, okay, after that I'm just trying to print the count value. Okay, so print the count. So guys, just see, previously whenever I'm trying to use this concept, it will be give me the output was 24. So here res is okay. So here I'm just trying to change that count. Okay, so previously whenever I'm trying to use the first scenario, so at that time it will be give me 24 as my output. Now also if I'm trying to use the new technique also, still it will be give me the same output. Means the code logic will be same. If I'm trying to removing this extra thing, means the hello also. Now if I'm trying to run this one, so guys, just see, it will be give me 23 as my out. Okay, so this is the logic behind this. Write a program to find how many words that's available in a file. So now the next question for this session is write a program to find how many numbers of character that's available in a file. Now we are trying to find how many character, means h, just like that. We have 23 words. Now I try to find how many character that's available. Okay, so first we are try to write the coding question. Okay, so write a program to count the number of character. Okay, the number of character in a file. Okay, so we know that first we are trying to open a full file. Okay, so here my file name will be sample.txt. So here we are not specifying any access mode because by default we are trying to read the content. Okay, so just I need to use a variable that is called file object to store that particular thing. Okay, after that first I need to read the content. Okay, so first I need to use a extra variable that is called content, and I want to find each and every data that's available. So here I'm just trying to use this read. Okay, because by the help of the read, it will be print all the data that's available inside this sample.txt. Okay, after I'm finding all the data in this content, now I'm just trying to use that len function. Okay, so because we are trying to use this read, it will be getting each and every character. Okay, if I try to see the output, so guys just see, it will be print each and every space also. Okay, so now if I'm trying to use this, so just see content, it will displaying all the data that's available in this sample. So now I just try to find this one. Okay, so how to find this one? By the help of our len function, we can get this one. So now I'm just trying to print this one by using our f string. So here I'm just trying to write total number of character. Okay, total number of characters that present inside this total numbers of character is. So here I'm just trying to use the same thing that is called len of content. Okay, len of the content that's available. Now if I'm trying to run this one, it will be displaying me the count of number that is called our 136. Okay, means if I try to count also, it will be give the same output. Okay, so this is all about our different type of coding question for this session. In the upcoming session, we are trying to dealing more question that's available in our file handling. Okay, guys. So that's all for this session. Thanks for watching. Triaright.